I distinctly remember sitting in my college art class inside a cold cement room when the teacher posited us with an assignment: create a visual autobiography. The assignment had no guidelines, just the requirement that we document our life stories in some visual way. For the next few days, I racked my brain. I knew my history from the time I was born. But what about the people and the things and events that came before me? I realized that I couldn't embark on this project until I knew my family history. How can I know myself if I don't even know where my home parents came from? For some reason, I think that parts of my family history have been withheld from me. That art class and that assignment have come and gone, but I continue on this journey. They say that winners are the ones who wrote history. I refuse to believe that I have lost. But where do I begin to tell a story that was never written down? My knowledge about my parents' history is very fuzzy, and it troubles me. So I've always felt like I have to scavenge for this knowledge. This is what I do know. I know that my dad had one dad, 2 moms, 5 sisters, and 1 brother. He grew up in provincial China and migrated to Hong Kong with his family sometime after my grandpa received a degree in architecture from America. I know that my paternal grandfather was a successful architect who built bridges, hotels, and hideaway tunnels the Chinese would use to escape from the Japanese. Those things must have happened after my dad was born. Hong Kong was just as crowded back then as it is now. Dad always told me to feel fortunate, that I had it good because when he was a kid he lacked this or he was forced to do that. I'm not sure what Dad meant. He seemed like he could have been a very happy child with such a large family. There's a scar on my dad's chin that I distinctly remember. He told me he got it while climbing a wall and he fell on it. Sometimes when I shave in the morning, I remember my younger days when I used to sit on the bathroom sink to watch my dad shave. My mom's story is even cloudier. She has a younger brother and a set of parents who once owned a shop for automobile spare parts. My mom would always tell me stories about how she was a great swimmer when she was younger. To this day, I have never seen her swim a single lap. She also tells me how she knows Kung Fu pretty well. My mom doesn't look like the type of person who can kick ass. I vaguely remember my parents telling me that they met through a mutual friend at a party. It must have been love. Soon after, my mom was pregnant with my sister Sylvia. They immigrated to America after Sylvia was born. My dad had a degree in civil engineering in his hand, but became a chef in the state of Oregon. Sometime after my sister Susanna was born, they all moved to California. Again, the history from the time Susanna was born to when I was born is cloudy. That's almost a 7-year gap. I know that I am a genetic representation of my parents, a collage of the good and the bad. When I look in the mirror, I see that I have my dad's eyes and my mom's chin. I'll probably bald when I'm 40. I'll probably need dentures a few years later. Genetics have determined who I look like and when things start to fall apart. But I know that if I look deep enough into my soul, I find my mom's generosity and my dad's motivation. If I look hard enough, I see traces of them in me. Seems silly to not know where I came from, what sacrifices my parents made to come all the way over to America, just so that I can take a stab at a successful life. I don't know who or what I am. Some things you take for granted in life. Some people believe learning English is a privilege. I had no choice. For me, it has become both a privilege to learn English as a first language and also a burden. I feel that the English language has widened the gap between my parents and me. I'm not sure if I'm the only one. The lack of communication between us is disheartening. I'm not sure where my history starts or when it will end. There are many things that I don't even know about myself. I believe that in order to move forward, sometimes we have to look back. Is my history destroyed, or can it be recovered? Worst comes to worst, I can make it up.